Welcome back to Biz Lounge. We're with the head of Star India, Uday Shankar. But before he tells us about his journey into the corporate world, here's a look at what his colleagues have to say about the man who occupies the corner office. The stakes were high for Uday Shankar when he took over as CEO of Star India in 2007, when the organization was in need of leadership. And some wondered whether he could pull it off. But 5 years have passed, and Uday has silenced all critics.
The great thing about Uday was that he was hands-on with every aspect of the business, right? So whether it was programming, whether it was on revenues.
To his credit, Uday helped launch channels like Aaj Tak and Headlines Today prior to joining Star India. And when he took over the reins at Star, he began by rebranding the channel.
He will listen to you, he'll hear you out, and he will evaluate that on merit. So it's not just because it's the boss's view, it has to be there.
His style is very, very collaborative. He believes in pushing people.
Under Uday's leadership, the company has gone through a sea of changes, but he's worked to strengthen its market position.
He's a great ideas guy. In fact, within the organization, he kind of meets the mid-senior management team every couple of months and reviews ideas that they have come up with within their function, within their area or department, which have created considerable impact for the business.
The thing that has brought me a lot of appreciation is the team that we have put together at Star, and that's something that I'm truly proud of.
Okay, so you were known as somebody who had a bit of a hot temper during your days in the newsroom. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
have you had to change the way you manage in a more corporate environment?
no, look, I think I used to drive people hard because I have always created, I believe that I've been lucky enough to have great teams. But all great teams become greater because somebody drives them, and that had to be done. And I still drive people hard. I guess with age, I might have mellowed a bit.
You now report directly to James Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch's son.
That is correct.
What's that been like?
Awesome, really great. You have to appreciate that a lot of us, when we were growing up as journalists, we were completely mystified by this, organization called News Corp and Rupert Murdoch and James Murdoch. The Murdoch name. Yeah. And for me personally, a big part of coming and working for this company was to get a chance to work for them. Of course, I didn't know that I would end up working so closely with James and Rupert. But I think it's an honor, and I think it's great fun. James is an amazingly visionary and entrepreneurial guy, and he gives you so much space. I must be the only person who doesn't even speak to his boss once a month, and I don't get an email from him even once a month, and I don't send emails to him even once a month.
After spending so many years in the television industry, can you tell us about some key learnings that you've come away with?
That you must know the society and the people who live in that society, number one. Number two, we as professionals get too caught up in our own world and forget the world of the viewer or the consumer. And the third thing is that if there is a larger message inherent in your content, people will always like it.
And has your background as a journalist helped you as a manager at all?
Enormously. I think I've been very heavily supported by my journalism experience and background. Because people don't understand what a journalist does. As a journalist, every day you are thrown into a new situation. There's a new story, new development. You have usually no time to prepare for it, no idea of what it is going to be, because surprise is a big part of a journalist's life. And then you're supposed to dive into it, make sense of it, analyze it, break it down into constituent pieces, and go and explain to somebody. That is what most of management is.
The most persistent criticism about Indian media is that they sensationalize news, even during things like the Mumbai attacks. So what are your thoughts around this?
I do not claim that the media and news media do not sensationalize things. They do. And we need to check that. We need to be more responsible. We need to be more transparent. And and more reserved. However, there is a nature of the medium. If something very big is happening, then you have to go out and talk about it. You have to talk about it with energy, with aggression, with force, and with, with some intensity. That's not sensationalization. Since you talked about the Mumbai attacks, there is no way that anything else should have been done at that time. Today, there have been many terror attacks. The reason this country has taken Mumbai terror attacks far more seriously than any other terror attack is also because the media made it such a big issue. The media made it a national issue, and it remains a national issue till today, because it was communicated so starkly, so boldly to the whole country. And that's exactly the job of the media.
And you've spoken about how the media industry should be working together towards common goals rather than being so fragmented as it is now. So what are some things that you're doing to help this along?
Look, I think you're only as good as the community that you create. And to that extent, I've been very lucky that when I came to acquire serious or senior responsibilities in media, it was also Indian media leadership was also going through a change of generation. A lot of people who came in the first generation of cable and satellite broadcasting were moving on, and a new set of people were coming in, across companies. And we were all people who benefited from seeing what our predecessors had done, but we also had our own thoughts. We'd been around. And one of the things that we all felt, so the new leadership in Zee, in Sony, in Network 18, and of course in Star, we all felt that we need to work together far more than we used to in the past. So there is greater collaboration. In IBF, we came together with the distribution community for digitization. We've created self-regulation, which I think is again one of the big hallmarks of what you can do by coming together. So we regulate our own content, we discuss it, and so some of those key initiatives, changing the measurement system and introduction of barks, so a whole lot of that stuff.
Okay, Uday, we'll have to take another quick break here, but stay with us for more with Star India's Uday Shankar.